Greetings, brothers and sisters. Hello and welcome back to Eva's House of Spirit. I'm Eva, and I decided to make this video today because of some interactions I've recently had in the comment sections of videos on other channels. I thought it would be really important to come on and remind all of you how it is so crucial to question everything. What you see or hear a lot of times is not the complete story, or sometimes you may be left with a lot of questions about things. And I think a lot of us might forget oftentimes that it's really on us to seek out further information, to take that little bit that was presented to us and look into it further on our own, to really educate ourselves on whatever it happens to be that was brought forward. I'm not just talking about magical and spiritual things. I'm talking about things in general. To give you examples, recently I watched a video where, if it's taken at face value, in a sense it could be misleading. The title was stating that basically oral sex can give you cancer. So I watched the video, and what they were trying to say is that if someone gives someone with HPV oral sex, they can supposedly, according to a study that was conducted, they can supposedly develop oral cancers. That's what was presented. How true that is, I don't know at this point, because I still have to continue my research, and I'm not confident at this point to say that, oh, I know it's true, or oh, I know it's not true. Oftentimes when people hear studies show blah, 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 they automatically go, oh my God, it's true. The problem with that is a lot of people don't understand statistics, and they don't understand that studies are only as good as the sampling data that was collected, how it was collected, and also how the study was structured and conducted. Because if the sampling data was taken in a way that wasn't representative of a wide array of types of whatever you're studying, and if the study's not structured and conducted in a way that accounts for potential skewing, you can get skewed results. So I usually will question studies. I won't just be like, oh, because they did a study, it's true. I will try to seek out more information where studies are concerned. But if a whole bunch of different scholarly sources, scholarly organizations, solid organizations have conducted studies on the same thing or very similar and have seemed to form a consensus, I will take that to be more credible, and I will, while I do seek out more information, I will feel that it's more likely that all the findings of all those groups are probably true or likely, because they've formed a consensus that seems to be agreed upon, across all the studies that were conducted. So anyway, there were a lot of people in this comment section that they didn't know a lot about the subject matter. They were outright asking questions. Some people were saying things that were just blatantly ridiculous. Then there was another video, one that pertained to the Zika virus that I was watching. And again, a lot of people were saying all kinds of things. One person said something like, oh, I bet they'll just find a cure. And then there was another person that was getting all kinds of paranoid, and I was like, I gave them a link to the CDC's website with information on the Zika virus. I'm like, here, read this. What these two videos and my interactions on their comment sections kind of led me to conclude is that people tend to watch things online, and they read things online, and they hear things from other places, and yet a lot of times there's not a full picture being presented. One thing that I will say is a lot of these sources where this information comes out, of course they're seeking ratings. They want to be watched, or they want to be read, or they want people to congregate there. So they're going to hook you in, often with titles that really grab you, and then you have to listen and pay attention, watch or read or just pay attention to what is being presented to you, first of all. But it's really on you as a consumer of information to question what is being presented to you. Is it true? Is it the whole story? Does the presenter understand what they're presenting to you? That's important for a lot of reasons, because depending on what you're being told, different things can be at stake. So what I would say is that when you, for example, read or watch a news story, take into account only a handful of people own the media outlets that present the news to us. Many times there are aspects to news stories that we don't hear, or that the media outlets won't delve into very deeply because they are skewed one way or another opinion-wise, or because there is some ulterior motive or some interest that outlet happens to have in how they present their news. Some media outlets are less skewed than others. And sometimes you have to consider too, even the media outlets may not get the full story, and they're only reporting what they've got. So it really is on the viewer or on the reader to seek out the fuller picture. Go beyond where you got that info. Go look in other places. And specifically when you're searching for further information, the further information you seek out should be from solid sources, from scholarly sources. You know what really makes me crazy? When people go, oh, I read this on Wikipedia. It's true. While things on Wikipedia can be true, you have to be careful with Wikipedia, okay? Wikipedia is a site where anybody can go in there and they can edit the information, and they don't always cite their sources. When I was in college, when we did papers and things, if you used Wikipedia as a source, that was like a strike against you. It's not information that is sound. It's questionable. Wikipedia doesn't count in terms of a rock-solid source. Please don't go to Wikipedia and be like, that's the truth. If you look at Wikipedia, look elsewhere as well. Be sure that you find things that substantiate what you've read on Wikipedia. Also, I mentioned studies, I mentioned news stories, memes, okay? Memes online, a lot of times they're just funny and joking around, but sometimes they're political. Sometimes they're put across to try and spread a certain message. Sometimes they're created and they're not accurate. They can be skewed by the person who created them. You have to take them with a grain of salt. Go find out if that's true. Don't just take the meme and be like, that's true. Videos on YouTube, just like the ones I mentioned to you, they can sometimes present things with a title that just kind of grabs you, but you can't necessarily take that title at face value. You have to listen and watch, see what the person says, see what they present, but then go elsewhere and seek out information to really fill in the blanks for yourself and to educate yourself on what is being presented to you. Or maybe the person making the video only gives you so much and you want to find out more. Well, it's important, if you really want to find out more, to really broaden your horizons. Go search, go look in some solid places places that are reputable. You want to look for information from a wide variety of sources. And you have to be careful online, though, with even a wide variety of sources, and I'll tell you why. You have to be careful of what's known as copy pasta, where online, a lot of people that host sites will literally copy and paste information from other sites onto their site, and you see it on site after site after site, and it's literally word for word, and you're like, I just read the same paragraph on this other site and on this other site and on this other site. That's kind of disturbing, because that leads you to the sense that people are not actually seeking out the information. The ones that host their sites, they're just reading what someone else posted somewhere. They're copying and they're pasting it into their, like, whether it be a blog or whatever they have online, and then other people are coming along and reading that and taking that as gospel, and maybe the first guy got it wrong. But even still, the more sources of information you're seeking out, the more likely it is that you'll get more pieces of the puzzle, and then you can kind of start to fit them together. News stories, studies, memes, videos on YouTube, word of mouth, things you read in books, see on television, or see online. All these things should be questioned, not just in the realm of spirituality and magic, but in the realm of any topic that you are being presented with. If you hear about something, sometimes it'll be like, oh, that's uplifting, that's great. But sometimes it's something that really kind of gives you the sense that a lot is at stake. Like, oh my God, this is dangerous. This could potentially pose a problem for me, for example. Well, if that's a situation that, you're presented with something that kind of unsettles you or upsets you, that especially is a time that you should really seek to better understand what is being presented to you, not just from the person that presented to you or the initial source that presented it to you, but from a wide variety of sources. Even when you get your news, okay, a lot of people, they become loyal to one or two news outlets only, and they start to really trust only what those people tell them. But it's so important to spread your net, really look and check out what everybody's saying about something and what's really being presented on a wider scale, because then you will start to see not just one person's perspective. Maybe one person has a limited understanding of a topic and they're only telling you what they know about it. Well, if you really spread your net, you can better inform yourself. You can gather more knowledge on that topic, and knowledge is power. Knowledge is knowing stuff. Wisdom is knowing what to do with what you know. Don't want to have those blinders on where you only see so much. You want to see the forest for the trees, because sometimes taking information at face value, it can sometimes lead people to dangerous misunderstandings. Here's another example. I was watching a video quite a while ago, and I think I clicked on it because it was about, supposedly, the title seemed to infer that it was a documentary. That's how they had that in the title, documentary, about women who had been raped who chose to keep their children. And I clicked on it, and it turned out it wasn't a documentary. It was actually pro-life propaganda. And I say propaganda because I watched the entire movie, and it was a long movie. But I watched it because I wanted to hear what was being presented to me and to others. And toward the end, there was some dangerous information being spread. First of all, they had these experts supposedly on their film. One of them was claiming that, abortions can give you breast cancer. That is false. And then another thing they were saying, which was even more dangerous, they had this person who was posing as an expert saying that tubal pregnancies usually just correct themselves. You shouldn't get an abortion. It'll just fix itself. And I went in the comments and I said, how dare you? This is really dangerous. What's really dangerous here, what's really wrong here, is that you are telling people blatant lies to get them to do what you want them to do. I said, it's not true. You don't get breast cancer from an abortion, first of all. I'm not even going to go in this video into the whole topic of, pro-life versus pro-choice. That's not the point. This was clearly ramming it home that their view was right, their view was right. And then the lies came. And what's so dangerous about that bit of information that they presented like that misinformation they were throwing out there, is that there could have been someone watching that video in a position where they weren't sure what to do. And they could have heard that, oh my God, it can give me breast cancer. Oh my God, my tubal pregnancy can just cure itself. Well, then I won't go and get that abortion because, it'll just right itself, which is not true. So people can end up getting stuck in situations. They could make decisions based upon misinformation that could be very dangerous or even deadly. I'm not trying to say that, oh my God, everything you hear can potentially be dangerous, or, oh my God, everything you hear can potentially lead you to bad decisions, but the door is open that it's possible. So I guess the point of this long and rambly video is just to try and remind everyone, please, do question everything. Whether we're talking about magic and spirituality, or we're talking about everything in the mundane world, just any old topic, anything, please, take what is presented to you with a grain of salt. Seek out the greater picture. I'm coming to you with good intentions from a place of care and concern. I want you all to be empowered by knowledge and to really, be educated and know the truth, and not just take some of the things that people present us that are masquerading as truths that may be incomplete or maybe misinformation or, something else. I'm coming from a good place, and that's what I intend to do, and I hope you all understand that, and I wish you all blessed be and Ashe. As always, have a great night. Until our next exchange, I would love to hear from you all in the comments. Please do hit me up. Let me know what your thoughts are on this, and if you have anything else you'd like to chime in, please, I do welcome that, and I always do try to address comments as best as I can when they do come forward. If you like this video, I do ask that you feel free to share it on social media. If you like not just this video, but also the other content I've had on my channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, I really do welcome you to subscribe. And stay informed, folks. And bye-bye for now.